Welcome back to the Tech Talks Daily podcast. Quick question for you all. How do you launch a loyalty program that not only survives a global pandemic, but thrives in an incredibly competitive market? Well, today my guest is the head of loyalty at Emirates National Oil Company, or ENOC for short. And here's the mastermind behind the Yes Rewards program, the UAE's first rewards initiatives that is making waves across the region. And with more than 15 years of experience across diverse industries, from banking, advertising to fashion and now oil and gas, his unique approach to customer loyalty of keeping interaction simple while driving deeper engagement through data-driven automation is refreshing as it is exciting. So today we'll talk about how he single-handedly launched Yes Rewards, a program that has earned accolades from the Best Rewards Programme and in government sector at the second annual CX and Loyalty Awards. And we'll also dive into the technological backbone of this programme, have a look under the hood and see how AI and machine learning are being used to deliver real-time, personalised rewards to their customers. But my guest will also share his thoughts on the evolution of loyalty programmes, the critical role of partnerships and co-brands, and what the future holds for customer engagement in this digital age. I just want to take a time out to express my gratitude to everyone who supports our mission of delivering content every day to 140,000 listeners across 165 countries. I'm grateful for the support that allows me to maintain this daily tech podcast. And it's also an opportunity to talk about the fact that legacy managed file transfer tools are dated and lack the security that today's remote workforce often demands. And companies that continue relying on that outdated technology, they can put their sensitive data at risk. So if security breaches are keeping you up at night, why not sleep soundly with Kiteworks MFT Suite? Because their software security hardening includes an ongoing bounty program, regular penetration testing, and with one-click appliance updates, staying secure has actually never been easier. It doesn't have to be complicated. So step into the future of secure managed file transfer with Kiteworks by visiting kiteworks.com to get started. That's right, kiteworks.com to get started today. It's time to shift gears somewhat, introduce the person that you've all been waiting for today. So buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears all the way to Dubai, where my guest is going to share the strategies that he employed to turn Yes Rewards into a regional success story and how he's also shaping the future of customer loyalty at ENOC. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell everyone listening a little about who you are and what you do?
Well, I'm Suri. I head up the Yes Rewards program at the Emirates National Oil Company. Currently look after data, CRM, and loyalty as part of my portfolio with Yes Rewards. For those who don't know, Yes Rewards is the loyalty program at the Emirates National Oil Company, or ENOC for short. It's a program based out in Dubai. I've been in the city for now over 12 years and been working in CRM, customer loyalty, for all my time in Dubai.
One of the things that I always try and do every day is take a completely different topic and understand how technology is transforming that area. And loyalty and rewards programs are such a hot topic right now. So I've got to ask to begin with, what was it that inspired the creation of Yes Rewards program, and how would you say it differs from traditional loyalty programs in the region?
Well, Yes Rewards came out of this whole concept that we had in the region that, fuel, again, being a daily commodity, a necessity in this region was, let's say, I would say regulated back in the day. And we got competitors. It was ADNOC in Abu Dhabi, ENOC, and Emirates, which is the federal oil company, Emirates, and ENOC in Dubai. The competition wasn't as aggressive as it is today. You've got retailers like fuel delivery companies like Carrefour coming up and all of that. And then that's when, we did realize that we needed to do something to reward customers, start collecting data, data being the new oil, and rewarding our consumers for things that they do every day, fueling being one of them. One of the big aha moments was the fact that your non-fuel business was the profitable business because, again, oil being a commodity, there is only there's a limited margin, I would say, in fuel. But when it comes to non-fuel in the convenience business or the automotive business, that's where the margins lie. And how do you get your fuel customers or your, these guys to come from your fueling business and move them into your non-fuel business and get them to kind of experience your other brands and the services that you offer? And that's where the whole concept of creating a rewards program came about. Again, you rightly said loyalty today is very, very tech heavy. Suddenly there's this whole advent of switching away from the physical card programs to digitized apps and so on and so forth, gamification, and there's so many new tech words that have now come along as programs have evolved. And that's exactly how we started out. Said, how do we use tech? What is it that we can do when it comes down to rewarding customers? And of course, how do we reward customers for things that they do with us anyway, and give them it's like a thank you for coming and transacting, shopping, and fueling with us.
And it's how you're using tech that put you on my radar. And there's a lot of hype around AI and data-driven decision-making at the moment. But I think there's so much hype, but a lot of businesses are struggling to understand, well, how does this work in my world? How's it going to deliver an ROI and generate business value, etc.? So for everybody listening that's maybe looking at exploring these technologies in their business, how has AI and data-driven automation, how has that shaped the Yes Rewards program, particularly in enhancing real tangible things like customer experience and customer engagement?
So AI is the big buzzword right now, and I'm very conservative when I use this term as far as programs are concerned, because I think, like us, everybody's trying to figure out what to do with AI and how do you materialize this big new field of artificial intelligence into programs. I would still say we're at a stage where we would look at machine learning and automations to start building algorithms that are automated and offer customers real-time value. From a program perspective, one of the big things that we focus on is instant rewards and identifying customer segments and customers the moment they come into our network, and giving them could be an offer, it could be a push notification, it could be a segment-based reward for maybe a transaction that they make in fuel, and giving them a reward out in the non-fuel business. Or maybe, if you've got a consumer who is coming to wash his car in the automotive side of things, triggering an instant reward for him, which could be valid for the next 20 minutes while he waits for his car to get all shiny and clean, to walk into a convenience store and burn a voucher that has that validity. So a lot of it is, or let's say all of it, is tech driven. Is everything AI backed? Of course not at the moment. We're still sort of trying to see how we are able to kind of better automate campaigns and rewards at our end. But do we focus a lot on customer data and segmentation? Absolutely, yes. So that is the crux of what we do. And we've seen immense value and I would say returns coming out of using segmentation and real-time rewarding when it comes down to programs. I guess one of the big things or the change that has happened with tech is that back in the day, if you had a physical card, by the time you accumulated a reward worth redeeming, it would take you a number of visits to come to a store, and you would never have a digital coupon or a digital voucher that you could instantly get. Today, that has changed, with, of course, with mobile phones in your hands and customers trained on applications. It's made it so much easier to kind of trigger these notifications, trigger these offers, and engage customers with digitized offering, which you can actually monetize and track on how they're being redeemed and used. And, it also allows you to learn as a program, to see, what works and what doesn't work. So you become far more agile compared to what I think programs were in the past. And yeah, that's where we're at, So we keep learning every day, and we're able to sort of adapt quicker than we would have otherwise. And tech's been at the forefront of whatever we do.
And you make it sound very easy there, but as you said, it is about adapting, it is about learning every day. And I suspect you come across a few challenges along the way. Are there any challenges that you faced while launching the first fuel reward program across the UAE? I'm sure there's a few. I heard a bit of a laugh there, so I know there's going to be more than a few. But can you share some of those and how you ultimately overcame them to get where you are now?
I mean, of course, every program that launches has its set of challenges. And we had a number of challenges. And one is, of course, integrating tech into systems that you use every day. So that of course was the biggest challenge. But one of the more interesting, or I would say, the memorable stories that I had, that I have about the Yes Rewards program is the fact that when we wanted to launch, there was COVID in the air and there were no cars on the road. So it sort of blew up. It literally blew up in our face at the time we wanted to launch, because we said, hey, we've got a fuel rewards program coming out, and we've got COVID, and people were asked to stay home.
Yeah.
So, circumventing that, luckily, the UAE handled it really well, and we were sort of back on, regular lives pretty quick compared to many other countries that had a harder time managing COVID. We launched back, I remember 2021, was it November or 2020 November? Yeah. And, we started and we went with a big bang. We said, let's go big. Let's go out with a raffle draw, let customers win a car for, even signing up to the program. And I think it was backed by senior management. And, we never looked back since. So it's been a fair bit of challenges, but at the same time, one of the things that we did is we spent time on, testing what we were going to do. Right. So ensuring our tech stacks were working. The campaigns that we wanted to run, we could execute them real time. And, the fact that, we wouldn't have any setbacks when it came to, tech failures or certain tests going haywire and all of that. So, COVID was a sort of a double-edged sword. It forced us to test more, but it also gave us that extra bit of time to kind of get some of the glitches that we probably anticipated, fixed in time.
And I think a mistake that a lot of businesses make when they're trying to create or launch their own reward programs is they almost mistakenly think that they've got to do it all themselves. So I've got to ask, what role did partnerships and collaborations play in the success of Yes Rewards, and how do you identify the right partners?
So, we had great tech partners. We had Comark as our loyalty partner in terms of the back-end tech and systems. They've been, also helping us manage a lot of the campaigns that we set and taking care of, let's say, what I would call day-to-day operational tech operations from, away from us and managing it for us. So the things that we focus on is more the business side of things rather than, spending time trying to set up things, campaigns or rules and business rules and things like that on systems that you may or may not be as familiar with. As far as commercial partnerships is concerned, when we kicked off the program, it was a program that focused more on the brands that we had. So we've got, of course, we are a fueling company. So we've got, the oil, the petrol side of the business. We've got a convenience store, which is again owned by us, a brand called Zoom. We've got an automotive, brand called AutoPro, which is again ENOC owned. And, unique to the UAE is, the fact that you test and register your cars every year, to ensure roadworthiness. So, we had 4 or 5 of our internal partner brands that we launched with. And soon after, we had a co-branded card in the markets. We got a bank in place, got a fuel card out, and that was the first partnership. So we, sort of evaluated in a couple of ways. One, of course, does it make sense for the consumer? Does it make sense for the program? From a strategic perspective, and also from a commercial perspective. At the end of the day, we have to be commercially viable so that we can continue to give value back to our consumers as well. And that was I think the crux of it. We always kind of sort of kept it simple, didn't want to overcomplicate it. But now our partnership side of things is expanding. We're looking at travel, we're looking at lifestyle, we're looking at leisure, and things that would make sense for our consumers.
Now, of course, building momentum, launching in that massive way that you did is a great way to start, but that is only part of the journey. So how do you ensure that the Yes Rewards program remains relevant, remains appealing to such a diverse customer base in a rapidly evolving market? Because it's almost like you overcome a lot of challenges and then you get where you need to be, but then you unlock even more challenges, right, sometimes?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the biggest challenges in Dubai, UAE, is the fact that you've got over 90 nationalities, and how every nationality, or let's say a customer segment, is like, I would like to call it, behaves so differently. What appeals to people from the subcontinent versus people from Europe versus Americans or Australians or Africans, it can be completely different. So. One of the big challenges was, of course, communication. Do you Arabic? Do you use Arabic as a language, or do you keep it neutral as English being a common language between everybody? What are the offers that you want to run? I mean, because you would be our convenience stores would stock certain products which may or may not make sense to certain communities and could be very relevant to the others. So. I mean, we've had a set of multiple sets of challenges. I mean, but one thing that we're steady and very, very constant about is ensuring that we look at data in every decision that we take. Of course, there is that element of gut feel, and the fact that we've been in the region now for, at least most of us who work for the program and with ENOC have been in the region for over 10 years on average. So we have a sense of the city, which is the human element of, understanding this market. But at the same time, we ensure that we, remain focused on what data tells us. We adapt a lot. We test a lot. And I think there's no harm in continuing to test. I mean, you will fail many times as well. And it's a good thing, because if you're trying to do something different, you've got to fail a couple of times. So we've had those sets of challenges as well. We've of course had our instances with tech sometimes letting us down as well, and ensuring that we are able to get things back up and running as quickly as needed. Because again, fuel is an essential commodity. So the moment there is an issue somewhere, it could be as small as a coffee voucher not working for a customer, or to something more serious wherein you could have a system failure. And the thing is, how fast do you get back, and then how soon can you kind of circumvent those issues and fix those problems and make sure that you don't have those again. So, I mean, we ensure that our partners are cued in on everything that we do. We're regularly focused on testing, not just within our, internal environments, but also outside. We actually test on production environments as well. We go down to the sites, we see what's happening, trying to also talk to our staff who interact with customers every day and getting feedback from them on what works and what doesn't. And constantly innovating the kind of rewards that we give back to our consumers, and seeing, what kind of ticks the bucket, and, and what ticks the box and what doesn't. So it's a mix of, it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, I get that completely. And earlier in our conversation, you also mentioned a great word, simplicity. And I think that's so overrated, especially when dealing with complex technologies. So in your experience, how important is simplicity in that customer interaction process, especially when dealing with such a wide range of demographics too?
So, I mean, I think simplicity is the crux of any program. And, sometimes what does happen is that as loyalty practitioners or CRM practitioners, we get emotionally involved with creating very complex promotions. Or, if Neil comes in fuels, let's trigger an offer for a car wash. And then if he's there, let's trigger an offer for the convenience store. And many a times you can overcomplicate it and confuse the whole thing, where your consumer actually goes, I don't know what's going on. What is it that you want me to do? So while tech will allow you to do all of these fun things. But the reality is, it is the program experts or the loyalty guys who understand this technology from a customer standpoint. He's coming to fuel with you and maybe pick up his morning coffee or just wash his car. So if you overcomplicate it, you're going to lose your customer. You're going to lose. I mean, he's not going to understand what you're trying to do, and secondly, if it's not simple enough, he's not interested. Right. So I think simplicity is very, very important, no matter how far tech goes. And you could be running the craziest, data queries and all of that and automations and all of it in the back end. But at the end of the day, from a customer standpoint, it has to be something as simple as, just a click of a button. And that for me is, it's very overrated. We forget being simple. And I think if you're simple today, that's a big win in itself.
Completely agree with you. And the golden rule in IT has always been you can only improve what you measure. And especially at a time where every tech project is under close scrutiny for the kind of ROI that it can deliver before implementing any technology. Or how do you measure the success of the Yes Rewards program? And what metrics do you consider most indicative of that customer loyalty? Because again, it can be quite tricky, but how do you do this?
I think, there are some basic measures, of course. I mean, one is looking at the revenue that your program drives in terms of customer engagement, in terms of lifetime value. One of the big things that we like to measure is lifetime value, because that from a loyalty perspective, that tells us what is the program stickiness and how many of your customers engage with you on, let's say, a weekly or a bi-weekly basis, and and do you really up the needle when it comes to customer spends as well? Do loyal customers actually spend a little more than people who are not on the program? Do they shop more frequently, or do they at least engage with a few more brands than they would otherwise? So, I mean, if you were a fueling customer, would you be open to walking into a convenience store and trying a new product? Or if you were a convenience store customer, would you try 2 more products, or do something that you wouldn't do otherwise? And are we able to drive that behavior? And I mean, as far as measuring, campaigns like this is concerned, I mean, A/B testing goes a long way. But you can have various measures when it comes down to consumers who, to measure churn. There could be consumers who don't come to you as frequently, or let's say could be brand agnostic when it comes down to a category like us. But are we able to get them into our gas stations that one more time and ensure that we're able to give them an experience so that they keep coming more frequently? And I mean, it is things like these that you need to constantly keep doing, bucketing them in different segments and then transitioning them from, let's say, a low values or a low frequency segment to a higher value, higher frequency. And I think if you were able to kind of overall drive that sort of customer behavior, a lot of things naturally fall in place. So you're right from spends to, average transaction values, and then of course lifetime value for consumer.
And you've already experienced fantastic success with this program, but I mean, with one eye on 2025, are there any future innovations or enhancements or just ways that you see the Yes Rewards program evolving, particularly with the advancements? I'm going to mention that buzzword again, AI and customer data analytics, but how do you see this evolving next year?
So I think a lot of it is going to be related to partnership tech, where, we're looking at the blockchain in a big way. Because, back in the day, if you were integrating with a third party, and a partner, which would mean months on end of API integrations and testing and so on and so forth. And, hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on, getting 2 systems to talk to each other. Today, you've got blockchain systems which can do that for you in, not even 1/3. I mean, nominal costs. Second, they ensure that you're very, very agile. You have digital contracts. you automate the entire journey. You can actually simulate the money you're going to make. And, so, I mean, something that would take you 3 months can today be delivered in 15 days. So, partnerships, of course, is a big focus for us, come 2025. And, as far as, the AI space is concerned, we are also looking at, streamlining and automating customer offering. I'm not sure we'd be able to kind of kick that in and deliver it in 2025, but these are things we're going to start working on. We're trying to understand how we can actually automate customer offers based on parameters that we sort of let machine learning or let the systems kind of understand based on a certain customer behavior, wherein someone who's coming into our network and showing certain patterns of behavior would be able to then get a targeted offer which would be very relevant to him. So you get away from mass segmentation to literally hyper segmentation or individual offering. And that for me has been something very, very interesting. And the day you can do that using AI and you can integrate that into your loyalty engine, I think that's a game changer.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today and shining a light on exactly how AI and data-driven automation can improve the customer experience. So many golden insights for people listening all around the world. And for yourself, I'm going to see if there's something we can do in return for you now, because some of the biggest names in business, VC funding and tech have either been guests or might even listen to this podcast. So is there one person that you'd love to have private breakfast or lunch with? Who would it be and why? He or she might just hear this, and let's see what we can manifest together. Let's see what we can make happen. Who would it be and why?
Well, somebody I really, really admire in the tech space is, of course, Elon Musk. I mean, I'm a big fan for the things he's done. It's remarkable. I don't know if I'd ever in my life get to even see him. But again, if we manifest this together, fingers crossed, maybe one day.
Love it. Well, we've thrown it out into the universe. Let's see what we can make happen. I'd love something to occur there, but just let me know. I want an invite to that particular party too. But for anyone listening, just want to find out more information about you, anything we talked about today, where would you like to point everyone listening?
I mean, my LinkedIn, I think that's where I'm most active work-wise. So yeah, Suryaveer Singh, that's me on LinkedIn. If there's anybody interested in speaking, chatting, bouncing ideas regarding loyalty, I'm happy to hear.
Awesome. Well, I'll get a link added to the show notes so people can find you nice and easily. And I do urge anybody listening to check you out. You were single-handedly responsible for the launch of the Yes Rewards program across the UAE, which was the first fuel rewards program in the region. And also, we didn't talk about this in the interview there, but it won the best rewards program in the government sector for customer happiness and so much more. We could have talked about this in a lot more detail, but just thank you for shining a light on this. I know it's going to be useful for people listening. So thank you for sharing your insights today.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Neil. Kind words. Thank you for having me.
So from launching UAE's first fuel rewards program to leading innovations in customer engagement, my guest journey with Yes Rewards offers a fascinating look into the future of loyalty programs. And as we heard, I think it's that approach that is centered around simplicity combined with the intelligent use of data. It's that's enabling ENOC to deliver real-time rewards that resonate with a diverse customer base. And I think his insights into the challenges of launching a major program during the global pandemic will not only resonate with many people listening, but it also reveals the importance of agility, testing, and that relentless focus on customer experience. And it was also interesting to learn more about the growing impact of AI and automation in loyalty. And my guests seem to suggest that the future will see even more personalised and dynamic customer interactions. But I think it's all about emphasis on the importance of partnerships and collaborations as well as the technology. This is what underscores the value of building ecosystems that enhance customer offerings and drive engagement. That's where the magic happens. But what ideas and strategies that you've learned today, will you apply any of these in your own business? Have you got other strategies that you'd like to share with me? I'd love to hear how you're going to better leverage data and technology to build stronger, more loyal customer relationships. As always, email me, techblogwriter@outlook.com, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, just @NeilCHughes. Let's keep this conversation going. And remember, stay tuned for more episodes where we'll continue to explore the latest trends in strategies that are shaping the world of tech and business. But that's it from me. I'll speak with you all again tomorrow. Bye for now.